All right, so we're gonna watch the core team trade above, and okay, anytime a person wants to say buy or sell, go right ahead. But we just our screen at the bottom, and we're gonna trade alongside, either matching what the core team does or even trade against. Let us zoom all the way in here. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see on the bottom, all we have is a price action, and you're gonna switch this to Apple to match them, and go from there. I'm just watching the trade. So we're just keeping an eye out on what the core team does. And we're going to trade along with them or in the opposite direction of them, right? So once again, I want to thank everyone for coming to Funding Night. So what we're doing, we're trying our best to show you what really goes on behind the scenes. What is the engine behind the network? What do we use to turn your investments over and over again? You're seeing it on the screen. So our process is a little bit complex, but we're trying our best to layer by layer reveal to you what we do behind the scenes. Yeah. So we're just waiting here for the core team to assess the market and start putting the trades in. All right, so whenever you see me mute myself, I'll be communicating with the members in the group. I have another device I can communicate with them. So I'll be right back. So as you can see here, we are looking at the screen at the top, and we are actually trying to determine in real time what the correct team is doing, and we're going to be trading based on that. So you just see them. So you're going to see the account at the bottom trading alongside them, right? So they put a selling adjustment. So I'm going to put a buy in here. And look at that. We actually won the trade. They actually lost that trade just now, but we won it. And then so we're just looking at what they're doing and marrying our trades based on the results. Yeah, so they just put in 2 buys and so that we did. And they put a selling, so we're going to put a buy in here. Look at that. They put a selling, we're going to put a selling as well. We can put a buy in here. Look at that. Right, so this is one of the things we want to show a person. This is the technique we developed within the last 48 hours. Whereas the cohort team is trading, we have certain members who are trading alongside the team. So what that happens is that your end result, the end result of your trades is a filtering. So in other words, there's one team that's doing the assessment, there's another part of the team which is doing the actual trading, following based on those assessments. By the time it gets to your account, you have gone through 2 or 3 rotations, and you have clear defined trades. Like I said, our team, there's a lot of tweaking that we do behind the scenes. So like, he put a selling, so I'll put a buy in here. So their trades worked according to ours. So we're gonna put 2 cells here. And that is pretty much the tandem of buy, sell, sell. I'm gonna put 2 buys in here, 1, 2. And then 1 sell. right? So based on what you can see the team just put a sell in just now. Right. So we will try our best to follow in line to what they're doing. Let's put a sell. We're gonna put a buy here. Put a sell here. Look at that. So that sell went in based on the action of the team. So it can go both ways, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually keep quiet now. Is there anyone here who wants to call trades? Go right ahead. The best you're seeing at the top of the screen what the cohort team is doing. Yeah, and you can actually say, well, Carl, I saw them put in a sell, put in a buy. And you say, well, Carl, I saw the team put in a sell, put in a sell as well, right? So the floor is open. I just want to get persons familiar with the process that we can actually encourage you to, follow us to the next level. Yeah. So the floor is open for those persons who want to join us here in the trading. So at the bottom now, I am not assessing the trades. I'm just looking at what the cohort team is doing. I am trading according to their trend. So if their trade is winning, I'll trade in that direction. If their trade is losing, I'll trade in the opposite direction. Like now they're selling, so I'm gonna put a sell here. And look at that. Based on what is happening to their screen, I can use that as an indication to sell. Right, so I just put on the mute button, so any person who wants to ask any questions can go right ahead. Any person can go right ahead. Okay, so I'm just adding those cohort members to the record room now. I want to put a selling here. They just put in a selling, so I put a selling too as well. Just put a buy. I want to put a buy there. And 2 sells. Sell here. Put a buy in there. You can see the price action just do a quick jump at the very end. So sometimes that's based on what the trajectory of the sale is going to be. Right. So they just put a sell. I'll put a sell here. Perfect. That's actually you got the really. I just put it in just even Mr. Todd. Excellent. So what you're looking for is inflection points. When you see a guaranteed movement on the top of the screen, that is what's happening at the same time. So you're looking at what the cohort team is doing and trading along with them, or even in the opposite direction. So you can clearly see what is the result of their trade at the top. So you can clearly see if the trade is selling, you can sell. If you see the trade is rising, you can buy based on real-time results on the screen. So you can see it selling here, so I'll put a sell here. I'll put another sell here based on what thing, and this is what you really want to see. The moment you put the trade in, we call those inflection point trading. The minute you put the trade in, like I click here, and hit closed and hit on here, for the time we put that trade in, it was a sell. The trade came down and never touched it. That is what we call inflection point trading. That's something that the team has been rated at. So they put a sell in and it's selling. So I'll put a sell here. I'll put a buy. Another buy here. Here we go.
Buy.
Buy. Yeah, I'm putting the buy. Good call. Good call. Good call. Good call. So we're just encouraging persons to get familiar with the space as we make these 14 stocks available to the world in a couple of days. You will see a lot of activity, not only trading activity, but activity in general, the WhatsApp group chats, persons joining those, and so forth. So what we're really doing is allowing you to see get a glimpse of what happens behind the scenes. Our team has a myriad of skilled trading, but we also have tools that we use. So you're really getting a behind the scenes look of what our team does when we're trading for ourselves. So right now they put a buy in and they don't. So I want to put a sell here, and then get ready for the buy. Put 2 buys here. And that's tantamount of what we do. We call sell by buys. I'm going to put a buy here and look for the 2 sells. And there you go. So you can realize that the team put in a sell and we put in a buy. I mean, both well, they won as well as ourselves. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is allow persons to see the potential of this technique. So I'm going to switch over to demo now. This demo now has $1,000, $10,000, my apologies. And we're going to trade with, let's say their balance at the top is 580. It's now 578. So we're going to put this 5578, 5692, 569.2, 569.2. Right, so we're going to be trading with $516.20 based on what they're doing. So they're putting in cells. I'll put 2 cells here. So let's see that. Now, let's say we had a stock across Barbados that had $10,000 in it. Now, based on what the core team here are trading with $1 trades, but based on what I saw, and we have a liquidity depth of that deep. I'm just showing you a snippet or get a glimpse of the future we're building. Yeah, so let me just show you that in a very quick rundown. Going forward now, there'll be 14 stacks across Barbados, 14 liquidity pools, for lack of a better term. Okay, imagine this. Not everyone, but a number of persons all over the world will put funds into these respective stacks based on incentives and investment plans that are going to make available to persons in the world. So they will know when they deposit X, they will get way out. Us here in Barbados, these stats are here. So all is happening as Barbadians, digitally move from stat to stat, parish to parish, region to region. Those persons who live overseas need to connect with someone here. Yeah. So for example, let's say this represents the St. Michael stat. The St. Michael stat had $10,000 in it. And we were trading with that stat, and it changed based on watching what the cohort team is doing with $1 trades. I then changed the amount to 569.2. That's US, that's not Barbadian currency. based on the trades that they're doing, using either, in this case, by hand trading, or using some algorithm that we have, which monitors the cohort team, and it allows us to assess whether the trend is above 50%, that means to buy. If the trend is below 50%, it tends to sell. And that way persons can really benefit from a holistic. So I'm just giving you a glimpse of what is going to be possible in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so as these stocks increase in size, we're encouraging you, the Barbadian public, to I don't want to use the word invest, because it's not an investment opportunity, it's an investment, it's an opportunity as a Barbadian. Okay. So allowing you to register those 14 Lakon addresses and sync them up to each region. This is going to be reality in a couple of days. That way persons, once the cohort team has a liquidity of that kind of depth, we can all start a trade with those amounts. Okay, so let me just give you another example of that. Now the maximum trade at this level is $1,000. Let's put that in $1,000 here. No? Okay, great. So I can get pretty aggressive with that. But the great thing about this is that we can spread this around. Yeah, that means that once someone is connected to a stock, they can choose a percentage of it. So if they connect their trade to this 1% of the stock, that means when you're trading, the stock is trading at $1,000, but you're trading at $10 US. So I'm going to look and see what is going to happen on the screen, and I'm going to trade it in that respect. Right there. Remember, so that is $10, but in reality, the stock itself was traded with $1,000, but your level of liquidity can match that. So that's why we are allowing persons to really capitalize on these stocks themselves. The stock has a much larger liquidity than your account, but you're still benefiting from a large liquidity of trading. Let's trade here now. So let's go the opposite way now. Let's lose liquidity. Let's trade opposite. They're winning, so I'm going to put a buy here. It's selling, so I'm going to put a buy here. Look at that. In 5 seconds, let's put it here. Trades closed. In 5 seconds, 1,000 US traded 5 seconds, 920 US profit. Now, your pocket option account doesn't have to have that level of liquidity in it. All you have to do is connect a stock that is trading with that kind of volume. And as a Barbadian, it gives you access to said stock. Yeah. So this is brand new. This is something that we in Barbados created for ourselves, and it allows us to connect with these large pools of liquidity in the cloud. So we walk into a business, yeah, access to this. Someone has a question? Okay, right. So anybody has a question, you can just raise your hands, and you can go right ahead and comment. Now, so before I go further into this, does anyone have any questions of what I'm showing you here? Right, I'm showing you, oh yeah, yes, it is virtual cash, but in a couple of weeks, this platform is going to have stacks being filled with Litecoin from all over the world. And those persons will only have the top layer access, meaning that when they deposit X, they will get a Y, which is a standard investment platform. Okay. But we as Barbadians now, we will have direct access to these stocks wherever we are digitally. You don't have to be physically in St. Lucie to benefit from the St. Lucie stock. All you have to be is making sure that you've made a deposit to the said stock before persons put funds into it, and the blockchain records your deposit before that happens. So does anyone on the call wants to ask any questions or how this will work, or everybody understands what I'm talking about? Remember, there's no such thing as a silly question.
Hi, good evening, Carl. When would this start working from?
This is already available. If I go to, let me just bring it up here, and I'll bring up the Zoho form. How this works is that my group, we trade behind the scenes, And we're giving persons the opportunity to get this. There's a website called Garda.com. This platform allows you to create multiple Litecoin addresses. It's a secure crypto wallet using Web3 technology. It comes with a Windows app as well as an app for your Android, and also, yes, iOS as well. And there's also a website for it. Now you go here and you create 14 Litecoin addresses. You create 14 of them. Yeah, that's step one. And then step two, let me just get this out of the way here. Let's get the link here quickly. And let me get it here quickly. Let me just get it from off screen. Yes, so I'm just pausing, I'm just stopping the screen share for a quick second so I can grab the Zoho, the form for you. And once you've created those 14 Litecoin addresses, what we have a Zoho form that allows you to sync those up, synchronize them. Since there are 14 regions we've created, all we are asking you to do is to log into this Zoho form. And what you're doing before we make these Litecoin addresses available to the world, it allows you to synchronize them. You don't necessarily have to put funds in them. Putting funds in them, all that does, it explodes your financial outreach. It allows you to earn on top of earning. So this is available to all Barbadians. But in the event that you want to actually be a great strategist and benefit before funds get into them, you can. So there is the deposit in, get out. That's still going to be available to all Barbadians. But if you really want to take this to the next level, you can make a deposit to any of these 14 Litecoin addresses. And once funds get there, before that is registered on the blockchain, it goes, it's there and allows you to benefit from when those multiple trades come in. So let me just bring this form up here for you. And I have it now. So let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, so let me just bring this up quickly. All right. So let me start by sharing the screen here. All right, there we go. Now this form here, right? The first thing you do is insert your name, Carl, and scan coloring. And then I'll put in my ID number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0. And then once I've gotten all those Litecoin addresses, I'll put in LTC address 1. I mean, that's not what it is. Let's say that is my Litecoin address. But the first thing I have to do is choose which parish. Each parish has a stack, but what we've done, we've created 14 stacks. So we've created St. Thomas has 3 stacks: St. Thomas West, St. Thomas North, and St. Thomas East. And St. George has 2 stacks: St. George West and St. George East. So when you've done that, you just go through randomly. So what you're doing, without no help from my team, you're randomly, based on your own selection, pasting each Litecoin address in here, and then marrying it, synchronizing it to a specific region of Barbados. And once you've finished the entire form, you should have 14 individual unique Litecoin addresses, and then 14 unique corresponding stats across Barbados. Once you finish that, hit submit, and that's it. And my team then knows behind the scenes where you want to benefit when these funds come in internationally. And this is already a reality. This is happening now. We're just making sure that persons do this before the funds come into internationally, and then we have a verification process that is really cool. So it is already started, and if you so desire, you can actually get in contact with myself or someone from the team that will go through the next steps to benefit. But it is already a thing.
Oh, I have actually completed all of that already, and it was just here. I was basically just waiting. I know it was something to okay, well, so I have any
Yeah.
Litecoin
Oh, okay. No,
or
what we've done, yeah, what we've
I
done,
get to contact you and
yeah,
then
yeah, you can do that. What we've done, we try to work with personal budgets. We all know how cash flow works. So you may have funds coming to you at the end of the month, but right now we're approaching like smack dab in the center of it. So this is what we do. We actually give you complimentary 50 US in trades. Like this account here at the bottom. QT real. Now it may have $8.48, but using our skill set, we can come here by, let's say, literally sell, buy, sell, and if we buy. So based on that, when we use our skill set, this can go up and up and up. And then we don't only do it with just your account, we do it with a master. So we actually present you with an account that's already connected to when we trade, and you're benefiting. That is real-time trades. So we're trying our very best to prevent Barbadians from shying away from this opportunity because they may or may not have funds to buy it now. We want person to really benefit going forward. So there are a lot of ways that you can take benefit of this without having ready cash, if that makes any sense. Sorry for using that word because it doesn't know what company Barbadians, but
okay.
but
I have actually done, what do you call it now? I have everything set up and it was basically just waiting for my complimentary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen anything as yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not sure. But basically everything on my end is set up.
Okay.
And I have also given in money
Mm-hmm.
to help fund my account, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing is on there, not even the complimentary or the funds that I would have given in.
Okay, so let me walk
So
you
is
through.
it
Let me walk you through how that process works. The complementary trades come from the actual trading team itself. So this is what happens. We are encouraging person to do two things and two things only. Okay, and I really want to make this point so that other persons on the call who find themselves in your similar position follow suit. Point number one, we are trying our best to allow persons to understand that they are trades, meaning that you've joined the network, you've put funds in, but you haven't seen anything turn up in your account as yet. To get this $9.32 here requires actual funds. So originally we made a statement that we were attempting to mathematically match your funds. That means that the funds you give are still here in a local financial institution. We haven't really used it. It is just there. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the video I placed in the group chat this morning. Have you seen it as yet?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I had
Uh-huh.
very limited access to my phone today. So I just came in, I skimmed through the chat and I realized that we were having a Zoom tonight. So I said, well,
Okay.
let me come on and hear what's going on and stuff like that.
Okay, let me just bring you up very speed because this only went out this morning. So some person here may or may not have seen it. I'm gonna give you the abridged version, the very condensed version of it. Without going into the massive minutia of what happened behind the scenes, to make a long story short, we noticed in the group chat, some person have seen it, there were certain bad actors, meaning persons who attempted to fleece our process, to jump in quickly, put in small amounts, and to get funds off and leave. That we realized that became a common trend. So one, persons tried to take advantage of the 50 US complementary trades. Two, persons attempted to take advantage of the stacks of putting in those small amounts, but still getting the same thing as the person who gave more. And then thirdly, persons attempting to take funds out and demanding that we pay them out before they refund. So there were a lot of bad actor processes happening behind the scenes. So this is what we're doing now to rectify that. First, I apologize for giving information that fed into that kind of mindset, meaning that I did say persons can deposit one amount, and I actually said this within 24 hours, a stack can be deleted. I actually said that based on a mathematical process, what we do behind the scenes. But in reality, we have to dilute the stock for everyone. So everyone has to have a account verified, make sure they're all part in agreement, and everything goes smoothly. And in reality, that doesn't really happen. So I apologize for giving person the let's say process of allowing you to realize, you know what, this can happen instantly. So I kind of like assisted persons in thinking that way. So the video was, one, to apologize for that, and number two, outline what is going forward now. So this is what's going forward right now. We are putting into place, this does not apply to your deposit, because your deposit went in before we put this into place. This requires persons going forward. Number one, persons have to come to two Zooms, and those two Zooms go over to determine your financial literacy, meaning that you're exhibiting good saving and investment practices before you come to our platform. So you show us a track record of you managing your own money well, number one. Number two, an emotional intelligence class, where we are realizing that you are a person who is of sound mind and can make rational decisions when it comes to money. That you're not taking your rent, you're not taking your children's back to school money and putting it in this platform and then screaming that you want it back. That kind of thing, it doesn't really bode well. So that's the first thing that happens. Then we're going to have a tier system, meaning that we are going to use some of your funds. So that your 4 stacks, stack 100, stack 250, stack 375, and stack 1500, each of those come with a certain percentage split. Stack 100 comes with a 33% split, 33% for you, 33% for the team who's doing the auto trading, and 33% for the entire network itself. So everybody benefits from a third. Stack 250, the percentage starts to get a little bit smaller now. It goes to 30%, less for you, more for the platform. Stack 375 is 25%. That leaves 75% for the group. And then the stack $1,500, 1,500 Bayesian, that is a 0% split, meaning that you're giving that entire $1,500 to the team to trade with on your behalf. Now, we had a meeting, and we realized those persons that were trying to do a quick turnover, we can't really eliminate those persons. So we created a 2-week investment option, meaning that those persons who are looking for a quick turnover, they can get a 2-week option, but that has 100% matching system, so it's very aggressive. So you know that if you're exposing 100% of your funds, you can take any of those 4 tiers I just mentioned and allot it to a 2-week return, knowing that you're really risking all of your funds because it's very compact. It's very 2-week deadline. You know, the team's going to work aggressively to make sure you get funds within 2 weeks. Good. Then there's a medium-term investment, which is 3 months. Now, I prefer those because what you're doing, you're giving the team, whatever amount you choose, 3 months to show results. Yeah, you're going to get results during it. It isn't like after 3 months, you get a lump sum. That's not how it works. You're attaching your account to be processed for 3 months. And you don't know what great things the company is going to do in 3 months. And last but not least, 6 months. That is a much more thought process, and all this will come out in the person's financial literacy and emotional intelligence assessment. So we would know, this person is they want to join X, but their personality profile is more suited, and their finances is more suited for this profile. Yeah. So the reason why you haven't seen any activity, for lack of a better term, is that we want to make sure that when we switch on that switch, you must understand where we're coming from. Barbadians are eagerly looking for a platform that works. This is one. However, Barbadians determine whether a platform works when persons are getting funds in their hands. They're not determining that basically 2 years my team has been doing this behind the scene. That doesn't qualify. It doesn't qualify that we have Zoom calls every Saturday night to show you how it works. That doesn't qualify. The only measuring state of Barbadian qualifies this to work as if they have money in their hands and they can go and spend with it. So we've come to understand that. So we're not saying we're taking a step back, we're addressing it and coming back forward stronger this time. A company name is going to be formed, a website is going to be there to give you all the information, that next step. So that way, when you fill out this form, you're not scratching your head and asking Carl what to do next. There'll be an environment that all across the world can connect to this. So I hope that what I've said clarifies the fact that you made a deposit. Yes, you made a deposit. Yes, you're qualified for the 50 US complimentary trade. That's great. So you're all set to go. You're primed and ready. Yeah. And based on your tone and your mannerisms, I gather that you are a person who is willing to listen and be open to what is going to happen next. I want to commend you for that, because I've experienced quite the opposite, some behind the scenes and some publicly in the group chat. So I want to commend you for your approach and your, seeking to let me know, Carl, I've made a deposit, but yet I haven't seen, and you were extremely polite, and I just want to commend you and for that, and thank you really, because I really appreciate that, because I get a lot of the opposite, a lot of unrealistic expectations in the chat as well as behind the scenes. So I want to thank you for that. So I hope what I said, does it add any clarity, or does it give you any peace of mind knowing what's happening next?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
To some extent. I mean, I understand everything that you're saying, and I just want to say something else, because I know you keep saying, you receive a lot of negative feedback from persons and stuff like that. I think, initially there was some miscommunication.
Agreed.
And right, some miscommunications, and people had a lot of expectations. And sometimes we can't always blame some persons for their behaviors in certain circumstances. Well, in certain situations, because basically their circumstances cause them to behave in certain ways.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
So, I would have read the chat, and, obviously for me, it would have been like, oh my goodness, this poor lady, And sometimes when somebody tell you something and you're looking forward to something and you think to yourself, well, okay, I can put all of my eggs in this basket because, this person said to me, well, this is going to happen in X amount of time. And then it doesn't happen. Then only God knows what position these persons would have found themselves in after not being able to receive what was promised, right? For me,
that is an excellent point. Go ahead.
Right. For me, I'm a very open-minded person. I've never joined what do you call those things now? Blessing circle or anything of the sort. So when I first heard about this, I told myself, well, I need to do my due diligence and find out what's happening. Like, where are these people getting this money from? Okay, you said you're trading. Okay, fine. That's all right. I said, well, still, if you're trading, you ain't trading and giving away all your money. I don't expect anybody to do that. So, how you going about it? Everything was explained to me, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like something, legit, something that I can deal with, right? Obviously, time starts to pass, and you're not saying anything. So, I make contact with you, have some more conversation, I get to realize, what, this is something a lot more than what was explained initially. So really and truly, it's just to know what's happening, where you're at, how's everything coming along, and stuff like that. That's just me. Okay.
Perfect. No, when it was speaking before, was my audio choppy, or a person heard what I was saying?
I heard you. I see someone said that they couldn't hear, but I could hear you perfectly the whole time.
Anyone else? Anyone else can hear what I was saying? Okay. Well, it's being recorded, so but I will try to clarify now. I want to respond to two things that Blue said, and I'm very impressed with her. She said two things, and she said she does not in the past joined anything like this before, even blessing circles. I've never joined one myself. Mathematically, blessing circles work, you know. However, when you add a mathematical system, you add the human element, greed, misunderstanding, and the same thing you just mentioned, someone using funds with a desired outcome, you have expectations. A mathematical system is not designed with expectations in mind, is based in incentive. I love incentive-based systems, but this is what she said. She said, she started to ask herself some questions. Well, where are they getting the money from? Okay, they explained they're trading, but they're human. They're not going to give all their money away. So there's a sharing process. They're just giving the trades away. They're sharing the trades, but the actual funds are coming from pocket options. So that's where the money comes from. So when they can afford to give a 100% sharing element, all they're doing is sharing it. She also spoke from both sides of the fence, knowing that Carl admittedly started to miscommunicate what the platform was doing. There's a much larger system, much larger vision, but Carl did not start there. All Carl was starting to say, well, the Ignite, 10x deposit, boom, 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 boom. And then when all the layers came afterwards, person started to get confused. I mean, I don't understand all of this. I didn't realize it was all of this. So you're actually saying a lot of positive things. So as it's going along, what I'm thinking to do is do two things. Apologize for the mistakes that I made in the past. I'm not walking in them anymore. I can learn very well based on advice. Once the advice comes in a constructive way, it is not attempting to choose my words carefully. Is not attempting to misrepresent my words in a way that is not my intention. Yeah. But sometimes I can come off a little bit fierce because I'm a very passionate person when it comes to this. So I do gather what you're saying. So what we're going to do now is clearly place right in front and center when the company is revealed and the website as well. The vision is going to be clearly defined what we're attempting to resolve. And I can say this, my team have developed a wealth transfer tool. It is not pocket options. We just chose to use pocket options to demo it to you, to allow you to see the potential of it. Now, wealth is not money. Please do not associate wealth with money. Wealth is intelligence to know how to pass it on to future generations that is untainted. That's wealth. Affluence. That is wealth. Once you know how to generate funds without the permission of your boss, without the permission of the economy, without anyone's permission, you can do it at sheer will. That is wealth. And that's what we've discovered. Okay? Put all the fancy talk aside. My team can generate wealth. We just want to allow persons to understand how it works. That's how wealth is transferred, not by PayPal, not by Western Union, not by MoneyGram. Those are just digits on a screen. But the knowledge how to do this, not trading, but the knowledge to use our system, that is what we want to do. So that is where we take every Saturday night and come up with these creative ways to show you what is happening. Yeah. We hope that over time it will be more simpler to digest. But I honestly believe that we are right there. I think once persons start to realize how fast other countries pick this up, we in Barbados will realize, you know what, this was available to me. I may not have understood it when Carl first spoke about it, but he wants me to create these 14 Lincoln addresses. So I'll do it. I may not understand it fully yet, but I'll do it. And that's all we're asking you to do. Trust me, the finances will come. The wealth will come. But it's very important that we understand how it works. Otherwise than that, the persons who adopt our system in other countries, they will speed along with it, they will make modifications to it, and they will run along with it. And the creators of it, Barbadians, will then have to play catch up, and that shouldn't be. We should be the pioneers. I mean, our anthems, we're the craftsmen of our own fate. You know, I don't want a person to take that lightly. Yeah, we decide our destiny. No one else does that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this. Yeah, I could say a lot more, but I really want person to understand that is why my team is taking this long process to allow you to deposit funds, register a pocket option account, get 14 addresses from Garda, go to the zone hall form and fill out these forms, and then pause in the crickets. Like what's next? The next is coming. We just want to make sure that you are prepared for what's coming. Because it'll be very dishonest of us to know what's coming and don't prepare you. It would be very bad of us to do that. So that's why you're seeing such step by step. It may seem long in coming, but I guarantee you the wait will be worthwhile. Okay. Right. So thank you for that, Blue. I want to open the call for any other comments. I want to thank Blue for her comments. I really appreciate that. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate that. I really do. All right. Anyone else want to ask any questions? Because we want to wrap up in a second. Like I said, the official Zoom call will end pretty soon, but any person who wants to stay back and watch the core team group cheer, that is fine. Yeah, she did speak very well. Yeah, and I think she represented the community very well. I think she did. I think how she handled herself, the way how I would say she delicately and diplomatically put me in my place. She told me, Carl, what you said when you first speak about this isn't what you're saying now. Yeah, so she wasn't disrespectful. She just gently let me know, Carl, when you're speaking, try to maintain a consistent message so you don't confuse yourself as well as the very community you're speaking to. And she did that very well. But she also commented on what I've instructed the participants to do. She's done as well. So like Alessa said, she spoke very well. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to add any comments? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, because like I always tell persons, you may not understand everything in the beginning, but once you have a clear vision, that's something you have to give persons sometimes a clear vision. I mean, sometimes you don't want to expose your entire hand.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does need to give persons, a clear vision. And once it's something that they can appreciate, then they'll be more than willing to hop on board and be a part of it.
Fully agree.
So I think it's something bigger than any one person that's a member of the group that you're trying to achieve. So I am sure persons will be more than willing to, see the vision through to the end.
Wonderful. No, I could not have said it better myself. I'm on the inside as well, outside, and she really pretty good job of making a statement that made the vision clear. And she did say that what we're trying to is huge. She said it's bigger than any one person. It's bigger than Carl. It's bigger than the Quart team together. Yeah, it's bigger than all of us. So I love that. And I think that we can use tonight as a measuring stick of the kind of involvement, communication, and conversation that really is needed for us to scratch the surface of tomorrow. You're going to hear a lot about beyond, breakthrough, evolving, yielding to this vision, as well as proving tangible and real results, but realizing that we want to make sure that these goals, that this vision that we have is obtainable. And always was next. This vision will not stop. It will not stop at Barbados, but it's always, when we perfect this system, what's next? We're not going to stay there. What's next? and then realizing that it's all about every Barbadian who jumps on board of this vision to achieve their destiny, what God has placed them on this earth to do. And that is not only financial. I believe breakthrough is health, is realizing that you have family members all over the world, you may not even know them. You may have the finances to travel. You may have the finances to help a Caribbean island singularly. Your family can amass enough funds to single-handedly help a Caribbean island in need, not just the government of Barbados. This process has the power to do that. So I firmly believe what Blue said, that we can always connect a vision. And I honestly believe, I agree with her, that once persons realize what we're trying to do, and it's clearly spelled out, ABC, and there's no ambiguity, there's no shying away from it, I believe that we can do it. I've seen it. So I've come back. I've seen it in 2025. So I've like been back to 2023 to bring persons along with me. I can see it. It's already there. It's already a reality. It's just for us to take the journey there together, not just the core team. And that's where we came back 2023. These are metaphor terms, by the way, okay? For us to invite other Barbadians along with us for this once in a lifetime journey. It may sound cliche, it may sound that way, but when we are able to establish ourselves internationally and not be seen as a festing ground for corruption and greed, and we are here for change, I think that's when we start turning heads, not only in the Caribbean, but the world over. I firmly believe that. Yeah. Okay, so this brings us to the end. Yes, as Putela de San Pablo, I probably messed up the name of it. My apologies. She said she spoke with wisdom and understanding, and yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I really want to commend her for her words. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us the official end of today's presentation. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Blue for her comments. And I'm looking forward to engaging in a conversation just like this. More conversations just like this. I'm really looking forward to it. All right. So everyone, those persons who want to stay back and watch the core team trade, you're more than welcome to do that. But I want to let persons know that we're here. We'll be here for you, and the vision will be made clear. Let's always stay connected.